Hung Jury is one of the 3 new Nightfall weapons introduced in Season 14. It may look familiar, and that's because Bungie brought it back from Destiny 1. It is a 180 RPM kinetic scout rifle, and like I just mentioned, it is acquired from Nightfalls. Of course, there is going to be an Adept version that will be dropping from Grandmasters when that releases sometime in June. Now, just like last season where I went over every Nightfall weapon and let you all know what perks and roles to be looking out for, I'm going to be doing the same this season, starting with Hung Jury. Hooray! If you're curious about my opinions on the weapon, because I guess it's the norm now to use a weapon for one day and then review it, well, that will be at the end of the video. But before we get started, we have a sponsor for today's video. Oh yeah, you know who I'm talking about. You're thinking it right now. Raid Shadow Legends! Listen, I'm gonna need you to stop whatever you're doing and find a mirror, okay? Once you have, I need you to look dead into your own eyes and ask yourself, have you taken down the Demon Lord yet? Crushed the Ice Golem? Ascended the Doom Tower? What about fighting against millions of real players in the arena? If you answered no to any of those, then now's your chance to get your priorities straight. In Raid, you can explore millions of champion combinations and master countless tactics as you take on raid bosses, dungeon runs, campaign battles, and PvP arena matches. Now, let's not forget the hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 500 champions blessed with unique skills. You can build your team, develop your champions, and raid your way. Now, all that stuff is great, but what I like personally about the game is just all the champions to collect and upgrade. As someone that grew up playing games where I collected fictional characters, leveled them up, and watched them grow, Raid really strikes a certain chord with me, you know? I seriously love getting a new champion and then training it up to take down raid bosses and clear entire dungeons. Now, even with all the stuff to do and things to collect, Raid is still adding so much more by the month. This month alone, they've released 11 new champions and also released 200, yes, 200 brand new missions to complete with an exclusive legendary champion as a reward if you manage to finish them all. And if that's not enough, they also added 5 very tough and challenging new levels to almost every single dungeon in the game. Like I said, Raid adds so much stuff every month, so it's never been a better time to get started than right now. So what are you waiting for? Go down to the description under the video, click my links, and support the channel by downloading Raid today. Seriously, it supports me a ton. Once you're in, you can find me in-game under the name myfi Smile. Yep, it's that easy. Click the link in the description, and I'll see you in-game. Once again, thank you to Raid for sponsoring today's video, and massive shout to you guys for not absolutely hating me when I do sponsored segments, as they seriously help out the channel. So first up, in case you're curious on how to acquire this weapon, well, of course, like I've said, 3 times now, Nightfalls, but the Nightfall difficulty you do does affect the drop rates. The Adept or 1240 offers the lowest drop rate of Rare. The Hero or 1280 offers a drop rate of Uncommon. Then finally, both the Legend or 1310 and Master or 1340 offer drop rates of Common. Now, even though both the Legend and Master state the same drop rate, it's a pretty widely known fact that the Master does seem to drop these Nightfall weapons more frequently than the Legend difficulty. So if you're really looking to farm the Hung Jury, then getting a team together and running the Master will be the most rewarding. But if you're a solo player, then you should be running the Hero difficulty because it does have matchmaking enabled and offers a higher drop rate than Adept. The Legend and Master, they don't offer matchmaking, so you're pretty much out of luck if you're a solo player. So now that you know how to get the Hung Jury, let's talk about the best perks and the god rolls. Starting us off, I'm gonna group columns 1 and 2 together to get them out of the way. They're the columns that aren't the most fun to talk about, and on most guns, if you get great perks in columns 3 and 4, then it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things what you get in these 2 columns. Column 1, you have 9 perks. You're gonna wanna be looking for range, which coincidentally, just about all the perks in this column have. So perks like Corkscrew, Extended, Full Bore, Hammer Forged, and Small Bore are all great options. You don't really need stability as this weapon doesn't really move when you shoot it, so if you have the option between more range and more stability, you should take range. Now, column 2, where you're gonna find 7 perks, and just like column 1, I would still go for range, so accurized rounds would be your best bet. But having a good mag perk can also help, especially when paired with some of the column 3 and 4 perks. Speaking of columns 3 and 4, let's take a look at them. In column 3, you're gonna find 6 perks in order from top to bottom on your screen: Subsistence, Rapid Hit, Moving Target, Heating Up, Bottomless Grief, and Surplus. Of those 6 perks, I want to take a look at 3 of them. First up, Rapid Hit, which is going to increase stability and reload speed after landing precision hits on a target. I really like Rapid Hit, especially for high level content, because it does not require a kill, meaning the uptime for it is going to be really good. But the stability bonus is kind of redundant due to this being a 180, and the reload speed, in my opinion, is outclassed by Surplus, not the actual speed of which it's increasing your reload, but just all around Surplus. And then also a column 4 perk that we'll talk about in a second. Now, I just mentioned Surplus, and that is the second perk I want to take a look at. Surplus is going to increase handling, reload speed, and stability for each fully charged ability. Now remember that stability doesn't really matter because this is a 180, and handling is kind of whatever. We're really focused on the reload part. People that spam their abilities might think that Rapid Hit is going to be the better reload perk, but as someone that throws their nades and spams rifts like they're going out of style, I can say that I have Surplus active a whole lot more than Rapid Hit. Plus, it requires me to do nothing. Literally, I don't have to do anything, and the perk is going to take effect. So if you're an ability spammer like me, and you've always steered away from Surplus, because trust me, I did too the first season that it was available, I would recommend giving it a shot, because even with 1 or 2 abilities fully charged, you're still getting a really good reload speed. Now, the final perk I want to look at is going to be Subsistence. It's kind of a reload perk, but it's kind of not. Subsistence is going to partially reload the magazine from reserves when defeating a target. Now, how this perk works is for every kill you get 2 rounds automatically back into your clip. Now, with this being a primary weapon, that means it's going to fill your role of ad clear, and because most low tier ads can be 1 or maybe 2 shot if you don't crit them, then you're going to never, ever have to reload, essentially. This makes Subsistence the absolute best perk to go for in this column. Yeah, Surplus and Rapid Hit are both great reload perks, but with Subsistence, you don't even have to reload. And now for column 4, where just like column 3, you're going to find 6 perks. From top to bottom, as you see on your screen: Explosive Payload, One for All, Firefly, Adrenaline Junkie, Box Breathing, and Wellspring. Yeah, a pretty juicy lineup of perks. Now, of those perks, I want to focus on 4 of them. The first being Explosive Payload. This is a simple yet effective and fun perk to use. Literally, your bullets explode. It increases headshot damage by a small amount and increases body shot damage by a little bit more compared to the headshot. You know what I'm trying to say. It does more damage, more bonus damage. You've got to know what I'm talking about. If you're looking for a perk that requires literally nothing and you do bonus damage, then this perk isn't too bad. It's decent for high level in-game activities because, like I said, it requires you to do nothing. The next perk we're going to look at is going to be Adrenaline Junkie, where grenade final blows grant bonus damage and handling for a short duration. This perk stacks all the way up ×3, and at ×3 you will be doing 33% bonus damage, and if you happen to get another grenade kill before the 10-second little timer, it's not actually on your screen, but you know, it counts down from 10, is up, then it will refresh the perk. I like Adrenaline Junkie, especially if I'm running a grenade build and just spamming my nades like crazy. But in my opinion, Adrenaline Junkie just gets outclassed by One for All. Speaking of One for All, that's the next perk we're going to take a look at. As many of you know, it's a running tradition for me to literally suck One for All off when it's on a primary / ad clearing weapon. And that's sort of true for Hung Jury. If you plan on using Hung Jury in high level PvE activities and you want a damage perk, this is your go-to. Enemies are harder to kill in high-level activities, so quickly spamming shots into 3 different enemies for a 35% damage increase is going to be super easy, making the uptime on this perk insane. Once you activate it, you have 10 seconds to use it or lose it. There is no resetting the timer for this perk. Once it's gone, you just gotta tap 3 more enemies. Like I said, for high-level activities, this is your go-to damage perk. And now the final perk, the one everyone is currently going crazy for. Drumroll please, Wellspring. I'm joking. Firefly. Firefly is going to increase reload speed and cause enemies to explode, dealing solar damage to nearby enemies when you get a precision kill. It increases the reload speed by almost 2 times. And by increases, I mean, you know, just speeds it up by almost 2 times. It's not exactly 2 times. It's more like, you know, you're cutting your reload speed, you know, by like 1/3. It's more on the 1/3 side of things. Not exactly, you know, cutting it in half, but it's still pretty quick. Then the exploding part, well, it makes enemies explode into a ball of fire or solar. That part is pretty self-explanatory. Also, I'm not sure, for anyone wondering, if the solar explosion can create Warmind cells via the Create Warmind Cells with Solar Damage mod, but I would assume so. Someone let me know in the comments. And no, Dragonfly Spec does not affect Firefly. Why would you even think that? But a mod that will is the Seasonal Artifact mod, Energy Accelerant. This will increase Firefly's damage by about 2 times. So now for the god rolls. If you're using Hung Jury for anything that's not GMs or high-level activities, then Subsistence and Firefly is what you want. But if you are using it for GMs and those high-level in-game activities, then Subsistence and One for All is going to be your go-to. And then for PvP, because keep in mind this has been, you know, a PvE video with PvE rolls, but from what I'm hearing, PvP, what you want is Heating Up and Box Breathing. Some PvP overlord, let me know in the comments section. Now, if you do end up getting any of the perks that I talked about but didn't recommend here at the end, well, they're not bad, and if you enjoy them, then who am I to tell you what to use, you know? But if you're looking for the best of the best, well, I've already told you what I recommend. Now, for anyone that's curious as to my initial thoughts on this weapon, it's a scout. Yes, it's a good scout, but it's still a scout, and it's not Dead Man's Tale. Sadly, just about any scout you pick up that's not Dead Man's is really underwhelming. Scouts just need a buff to be able to compete with other primaries in the game. I do think Hung Jury is one of the best scouts for PvE, but like I said, still a scout. And that is your Hung Jury God roll. Let me know in the comment section if you've managed to get your hands on this weapon and what rolls have you gotten. I've ran probably 1,000,000 Nightfalls and have yet to get a decent roll. So yeah, I'm convinced it doesn't even exist, but let me know what you've gotten so I can have some hope. And now here at the end, I'm just gonna freeball this. This part isn't scripted. I'm sorry that I didn't upload for like the past 5 days. Normally when a new season comes out, I'm very, very active, but I literally moved over the weekend and then I got sick as soon as I moved. So yeah, sorry about that. Uploads will be back to normal starting today. Also, yes, we hit 100,000 subscribers. I am going to have a proper thank you video and everything like that, probably here in about a week or so. Not really too sure when that is happening, but nonetheless, it will happen. I do really appreciate all the support on the channel, even though, you know, it's a Destiny channel and, you know, content is here and then it's not here, and, you know, we all know what Destiny is like. So I really do appreciate you all coming back and watching the videos. You know, anytime that there is content to post on, I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, I will have a proper thank you video out in, you know, a week or two. I'm just mainly going to wait for that silver thing that YouTube sends me to, like, you know, show on camera and whatnot. But yeah, so, I mean, you know, I made it to 100,000 subscribers without ever asking any of you all to subscribe. I've always said, if you like the videos, then feel free to. And I'm not going to start asking people to subscribe now, okay? So if you enjoy my videos or have ever found them useful, then feel free to subscribe. Also, if you enjoyed the video, then feel free to drop a like. And I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.